I'm hearing that there's another relationship in their life. There's two people that show this kind of behavior where they're very needy, and they're very needy. And someone is seeing how that needs to stop. I have two cards that show it being cut off like immediately. I do have a Queen of Pentacles coming in with the Four of Wands in the upright, Aquarius. This could be another earth sign, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. It feels to me like they're offering a cooperative effort or a collaborative effort with you in some way. This person wanting to build something with you, and they're not giving any credence or credit. They're not even looking, like whoever the gossip is and the slanderer and all of that stuff, they don't have time for that. So they're not putting any effort or time towards that. You know, they're sort of like, you know what, I've had a lot of experience with people trashing my name behind my back, and it's just kind of like, I'd rather put my focus on things I can control. And so in comes this earth sign, and it is a collab. It is to try to build something. And for you, this is, it's celebratory with that Four of Wands in the reverse. There's wondering why this person, you know, is this person real? Is this person going to jump in there and do this thing? Oh, that's interesting. Some of you might hear of a person selling their business. They might be selling their business. They may also be forced into a choice that others don't know about, and they're nervous about it. But the announcement comes in like a trumpet. It also comes in with this King of Wands and the Page of Pentacles in the upright. And it gives some sort of sustenance. Some of you may be trying, piecemeal. This is like trying to get things under control with the Six of Pentacles in the upright. And that King of Pentacles, how would you put it? Because the Page is handing off to the Empress in the reverse. So I don't know. To me, that's like an empty cup. To me, that's a person who's like completely dry. And there's some sort of assistance here. Oh, I see what this is. On top of everything else, you may get a notification from a specialist of some kind that is saying XYZ needs to be done now. So it's another demand. That's what this is. If you were the person that is demanding, it's because you're dry as bone and you ain't got nothing to give. Nothing else to give. Some of you have been thinking about retirement and sort of pulling away from work and reducing your workload. And you're doing this because of that Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. So if this is a health issue, a health scare, I'm sort of getting that the way forward and the path forward was not to add more troubles, but to relieve them, you know, to create more of a stress-free environment. And even though that's not the choice that you want to make, you kind of know that it has to do with endurance. Someone younger needs to take the wheel. Someone, you know, more fit who can go that with that pressure and intensity. It's basically understanding one's limits. There may be a Libra involved, maybe a Taurus. That's interesting. This is how the sentence would say, Aquarius. It would say something like, wanting to put a particular action in place repetitiously, someone who's trying their hand at something and they're practicing. And it's sort of like they come to you and they say, would you like to look at what I've tried to create here and tell me what you think? They know that you're going to give an honest answer. You know, they sort of know that you're going to express, how would you say it? They know you're going to tell them truthfully what's going on. They also sort of expect you to. I know that I can talk with Aquarius and they'll give an honest answer about not just the situation here, but how to come out of a situation. There's confusion about which parts need to, I don't know if someone is looking at selling something, dipping into their savings so they can set this up. I just got this hit that like somebody wants to start a business and they've been preparing like a space to do that. They're concerned though about the information they don't know and how, like how to set a space up correctly. I have a problem here that's been going on for quite some time. Some of you, if there is a question of the big C, something of that type of health matter, and someone has the ups and downs, yes, that thing is real. And if there is a doctor or practitioner or something that stands up and says, hey, we need to do a procedure here to kind of remove this thing because we don't know what's underneath it, then yes, the cards are saying the thing is there, the thing is real. So take it seriously. That's how this is sort of coming out. This can also be, I'm hearing like a brother. I don't know why I'm feeling like somebody is a brother. There's like a brother space. It's throwing someone off. It would be like talking with a sibling or sharing information with a close friend or a close family member. Someone's also been having dreams about their mother. And if your mother has passed away, this is sort of having recurrent dreams of your mother passing away. And then another recurrent dream of your mother passing away. Some of you don't have a mother present, so you can't ask certain questions, you know, and you'd have to do the legwork to find the answers yourself. This question of being able to shed something, like a snake skin, someone, firstly, they didn't know what to do about it. Secondly, there is an insecurity or a doubt that it can actually work without that piece. Even though this is like somebody talking about the negative experiences, I do have whoever this person is, this Queen of Wands, coming in and saying, you know, don't just sit around on this, whatever the issue is, don't sit around on this. Make sure that there's closure. Make sure that something has an ending so that you can move on and move forward. This would be like someone who has doubt. I have total doubt that if I packed everything up and sold the business, that someone would buy it. Well, you're not going to get the dollar amount that you want for it. No, you're going to get about 30% less. You know, and it might just be that someone had an opportunity and they didn't take the opportunity when they needed to. I have, you know, sorrow attached to this with the 9 of Swords in the upright. And it's creating more stress on another person. There's the second queen right there. And they're both pointing to the Queen of Cups in the reverse. This is a question about whether or not to commit to something. And Aquarius, someone may very open up, you know, they may very well open up and be completely honest with you about Wow. Okay. This Queen of Swords coming in with the Queen of Wands. It's sort of learning something as you go along. But there's worry, there's concern, there's someone who's trying to keep their head down and just do the work. However, if you can feel, for some of you, this is also literally someone who's maybe been a caretaker to another person, and they're seeing the reality of how in depth and how much work it actually takes and how much steam it actually takes to do that. And they're looking at the minimizing of their life, not the complicating of their life. You know, the other person that you're speaking with here, they're upset. This is sort of like being upset that someone close to you has a need, or that you're upset that you have a need. And, you know, not being able to ask. It says, I scared myself that day. I want to tell you so much. We are more alike than I admit. I lied to you. On the underside of the deck, it says, I don't know how to let you go. Okay. Grab another one. Show me some cards for Aquarius for September 2025. Show me Aquarius, please. What's going on with Aquarius, please? Show me some cards for Aquarius. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Yeah, I see someone who's like really burnt out, you know. Someone's not loving the person they want to love. And they probably have been using work to kind of push that away. This is being afraid to have a tough conversation with another person, and it's almost as if they need assistance to be able to do that. And the cards show that that assistance will be either offered, given. You know, the assistance is there, even if it's a phone call. See the procrastination in the reverse. Someone is actually getting up and going on the move. I have someone rushing and then a fear of loss. There is a true fear of loss here. This card of being a victim, someone feeling like they're a victim in the situation, and this utter confusion that sort of goes with it. That's why it's sort of like, are you telling me the truth, showing me and being opened? Because someone here with the Queen of Swords, they want to tell the truth. Because this person over here is feeling like a victim. I have a rejection. And someone, the unlovable card is in the reverse. Let me sit with these for a second and let me see. Fear of touch is also in the reverse. Sort of like saying you're the one person that I could let touch me, but I don't want to be touched anymore. Maybe even seeing the signs of that when you start losing respect for someone and you realize that you just need space between the two of you because you don't want them to touch you anymore. But whoever I'm looking at, they, you know, I have someone who hold on, because I can feel it. No, this is someone who's, they're freaking out they're going to lose something. This is a panic, right? And they don't know how to gain ground with this person again. You know, there's a confusion here. And again, I have someone you see in the fields, and then the Ace of Cups in the reverse right there. This person who's been holding back their true feelings, they haven't said anything because they don't want to be rejected. Keeping a secret is in the reverse, and something that's outdated in the reverse. Okay, so if this is a love situation, then I have someone who's a bit panicky. And they're really scared they're going to lose someone. You know, they've invested and they thought that there would be a restart in some way. And then I have a tremendous amount of work. It's almost as if this person needs to be able to keep up the pace of the work. They would put their organs at risk. They'd put their body at risk. They'd put their equipment at risk. Sort of like, I can't run the machine at 100% all the time. That's not, you know, so there is a fear of losing something that's very important, like an organ or like a machine that's very expensive. The person they're dealing with over here on the right, there's some sort of fear of touch. And it gives me the impression that the way this person has been talking to the other is to pull away from touch. Like, I don't want to hug you, and I don't want, no, you know, it's just better that I keep that over there and not say anything about it. And someone has questions, like, I can tell that you don't want to touch me. And so here comes the rejection, like, you don't love me anymore because you're not touching me. And the truth of it, you see the fake friends in the reverse. This person that I'm looking at in a love connection, they're very, how would you say it? There's an intimacy depth here. It's sort of like saying, you're the only person in my life that wasn't fake. You're the only person in my life that I shared so much with you. You're the only person in my life that I actually created intimacy with. And maybe that intimacy was built over so many days or years or whatever. And I think one of these people here, the person that took the loss, is saying, I've realized what real intimacy looks like. And I also realize that there's certain things in the other person. There's things in the other person, like if you're in a love situation, that need to be present, like a bond, like the one you and I have. It sounds like that. And I wouldn't move forward with anyone unless that bond was there and it was close. Yeah, this is like spending a lot of time with a person and getting to know them for a while. And then you realize nobody else could fit that spot. Like, I don't want strangers around me. Promiscuous in the reverse. Someone could have said another thing about a person's like sex life. Someone is sort of saying, I don't envy your path. I don't envy what it is that you have to do. But if you've been hating on a person, and this has been going on for quite some time, there's been no evidence to go up against this thing. Kicked to the curb. I have that card, kicked to the curb. But the other cards that are in front of me have to do with sexual attraction. You know, someone sort of sitting here and dialing down that libido thing in some way. I have sexual protection here in the upright. Sort of like feeling safe around another person. And there's caution that's being aligned. Now, if you've been talking with the females in your life and the women in your life, There may be someone here who is expressing that on an intimate level, that, there's a lot of people who watch you as a woman when you go out into public. And, even if you're not trying to put off that vibe, and so the person's closest to you, like someone is saying, safety has to be, like an awareness of safety has to be there. There could have also been an event with someone who had some sort of trauma around that topic, and they know it's a situation for them, and they don't feel safe when they go out into the world in some way. But that's sort of what it's showing me, is this person who has built a wall of some kind to ensure that maybe their reputation stays intact, but also that they don't get attacked, because that's sort of coming out. I also have someone who's watching out maybe for the other person to make sure they're not attacked. And one party being free enough to kind of go for a walk, go swimming in a creek without some truck pulling up and a bunch of guys coming out, because they see someone in the creek like that, just to be able to be free, but to also be protected. And this person that I'm looking at on the right is sort of saying, I don't have that kind of freedom in the world. I'm not able to just go out and do these things, right? And this person is thinking of a situation where the risk, all of these factors being attached to being in a space with another person where love could exist. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, I have this other person who's gone into self-neglect, and they'd rather rest in that self-neglect. And kind of, this is like being in their head, sitting in their dreams. They want to step out of a space where they always feel like the bad guy. And I mean, in their head, they're stuck in the past. But what they're doing is too much work. They're doing too much work. And there's a person coming up and saying, you need to stop. You're doing too much. You need to stop with the excuses and look at those things again that need to be picked up. Yeah, eye candy and body shame over the sexual protection thing. But no longer hiding their feelings. Because what they've been doing is spinning in a circle, and it's been keeping them stuck. Their expectation of seeking perfection has kept them stuck. This hard to get energy, and it very well could be like hard to get a relationship even. They're not talking about how they really feel, though. They haven't opened up about that. They're fixing to. The cards actually start talking about they're fixing to open up and talk about it, and removing this, because this person over here is actually, look at her face, she's relaxing into a state of peace, where that too much card is in the reverse, and being very conscious in their awareness that they have to use caution going forward. And it seems to me that maybe age or wisdom and growing older has given them a particular wisdom on how to take the road in certain situations. Maybe they worked really hard to kind of earn that knowledge. Like, this thing matured me. See the expectations that are on someone's mind. They're realizing all of that stuff they need to be aware of going forward. This also includes this intimacy piece, because that's here with the soulmate only. I can only go forward to do something to I would only go forward in cooperation with another person if they were a true soulmate and someone I could see myself growing old with, you know, someone who not just accepted me for who I am, but they didn't seek perfection from me. It was just community, communing with each other. You know, this card here is saying that someone doesn't have to be fated to be alone, thinking that this is too hard. Like when it's too hard or you're going through hard times. When someone is going through hard times. And you can't hear all the things on their mind, or you can't see all the feelings that they have been feeling. You know, one person that's going through challenges, like real challenges, and the other person over here looking at sex and a fear of cheating, and they're making that the primary thing. And two people end up not seeing face to face. One party is looking at being in a harmful place and dealing with past trauma. And the other party is, they have too much time on their mind to sit and think and create scenarios in their head. So it's removing the untrue stories, providing this new outlook that if anybody here is demanding sex, or the sex that comes as trying to use it as a bond, this is literally using wisdom here with these age issues. And see the too soon, not offering romance, not offering that sort of thing, because there has to be a period of checking to see if they're compatible, you know? And this person has been, like, one party has just been losing themselves in this sex issue. And the other party has been getting hurt because they've been too passive. I think the cards are saying anybody would leave another person in a situation like that where they're unseen, where they're just not seen anymore. All right, good luck with this, Aquarius. I wish you the very best, and I'll see you in a few days. Bye.